Paradox, the Kabbalistic Path of Expanding Consciousness, Part 2, The Mission. The deepest secrets of Kabbalah are hidden within the creation chapters of Genesis, which describe the earliest beginnings of our universe. Perhaps the most formative event that occurred then was Adam and Eve's decision to eat from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. There are countless mysteries surrounding that deed, but since our subject is paradox, we are going to focus on one detail, the mystery of knowledge, in Hebrew Daat, a distinguishing feature of that infamous tree. Kabbalah's map of the universe is called the Tree of Life. It includes 10 points called Sefirot and 22 connecting pathways that weave those points into a single, unified whole. This is the lens through which a Kabbalist views the world. No matter where one looks, from subatomic particles to plants, humans, galaxies, and beyond, one always finds the 10 Sefirot embedded within the subject at hand. But in addition to these 10 fixed points, there is an 11th Sefirah, a meta-Sefirah called Daat, properly translated as internalized knowing. Daat is usually imaged as an 11th point situated at the brainstem or neck area, connecting the head with the heart. But it also has a higher expression at the corpus callosum, where it integrates the right brain with the left. And sometimes Daat conveys an even more elusive property, a state of integration, a whole that is greater than the sum of its parts. Like a bicycle stays erect when the pedals are turning, so Daat arises from the dynamic interacting of the other 10 Sefirot. The Tree of Life is not static. A continuous flow of up-to-date information whooshes through its pathways at all times. As Daat circulates through its network of interconnecting channels, it weaves all those points into a larger collective whole, an organism greater than the sum of its parts. And yet, Daat's base of operations remains centered, Kabbalistically, in the neck area. According to Kabbalah, when Adam and Eve ate from the tree of Daat, knowledge of good and evil, it is Daat that shattered. And it is Daat that we, their descendants, must now strive to repair. In fact, says Kabbalah, that is God's hidden agenda behind the Torah, to give us the tools, guidance, and incentive to repair our broken Daat, to return to our Edenic garden of delights, and eventually, even beyond. So if healing Daat is the goal, then we need to clarify exactly what we know about this mysterious power of soul. First, we'll gather a heap of information, and then we'll arrange it into a path. And in so doing, we will discover that our mission of repairing Daat has everything to do with paradox. 1. The first clue is that God employs the term Daat as a euphemism for sexuality, and Adam knew Eve, and they were as one flesh. The essential union between man and woman thus occurs on the level of Daat, of seeing and being seen, knowing and being known, and the physical act is but its secondary expression. 2. Kabbalah derives a more general principle from this hint. Daat has the power to integrate knowledge so deeply that it becomes part of one's flesh. The test of whether something is truly known is if it seeps into the nerve net and changes one's reflexes. 3. Daat's power to unify is so great that when properly focused, it can dissolve the existential chasm between head and heart, or between self and other. 4. Another trait ascribed to Daat derives from a curious feature of its internal structure that does not appear in any other Sefirah. Daat comprises 5 masculine strengths and 5 feminine strengths, 5 forces of expansion and 5 forces of containment. In balancing these contrary drives inside itself, Daat masters the art of mediation and shares its talent with the world. 5. Daat is the great unifier, the joiner of self and other, whether that other be a person, an idea, an object, or an estranged sliver of one's own soul. In each of these cases, it is Daat that integrates the disparate elements, self and other, self and knowledge, head and heart, expansion and contraction, self and world. And this is what makes Daat the tool of choice for grappling with paradox, which we will define for the moment as 2 or more contradictory assertions that cannot logically both be true, but which in fact are both true and must be accepted as such. Take, for example, this board meeting, each presenting a solution to the problem certain that theirs is the right one. For sure, we just need to add blue. Absolutely, it's green that is missing. No, without a doubt, it is red that we need. I'm certain that adding yellow will solve the problem. Daat resolves the dilemma and assures the 4 contestants, all of your words are true, each from a different perspective, and here is the bigger picture of how you all fit together. The task of repairing our Daat is measured by the progress we make in managing the paradoxes that are ever present in our lives, as we shall see. In summary, when Adam and Eve ate from the tree of Daat, knowledge of good and evil, the power of soul, called Daat, shattered. Consequently, we human beings come into life Daat challenged. We see the world as black and white. We cannot process shades of gray or contrary assertions that are both true. From one perspective, the primary task of life is to repair our shattered Daat. The measuring stick of our success, as we shall see, is our capacity to negotiate paradox. And that is the goal of this series of classes.